God, living Word, living assembly.
Hey, everyone. It is good to see you again in this devotional broadcast. We are grateful to God for His mercy, which has sustained us to this day. My name is Becky, and Tina will be joining me in the studio today as Pastor Davidson will be teaching us about a very important topic titled Mind Refinery. Since the mind is a vital part of humanity, we must take all necessary precautions to keep it healthy enough to handle life's challenges. The mind is the intermediary between the physical and spiritual realms. It contains human intelligence, emotions, values, and belief systems. Without further ado, let us get right to what the pastor has in store for us today.
Thank you very much, Becky. It's a privilege to be with our viewers today in today's devotional broadcast. We want to encourage our viewers to subscribe to this channel if you have not already done so, and click on the notification bell so you won't miss out on any of our rich contents. Today's devotional speaks volumes of the importance of the human mind, which is vital to living a victorious life. Until the mind is renewed and full of light, it won't grant passage to many blessings in the spirit to manifest in the physical realm, Becky.
Thank you, Tina. Here's the introduction to what we will be learning today. The power and value of the human mind cannot be overstated. It exists in its realm. The mind is the source of mankind's ability to regulate its surroundings. A sound mind, the pastor continued, benefits both the individual and his environment, if not immediately, then certainly later. Although the mind is significant, few people pay genuine attention to it. Even though all options exist in the human mind, by default, it's bent towards evil. If you wish to live and appreciate the fullness of your mind's sanity, you must first harness its potential and then engage methodically in its restoration. How true it is, Tina.
The human mind, because of its central position, is vital to both God and man. Reading the book of Luke, chapter 11 and verse 35, it says, "Take heed, therefore, that the light that is in you be not darkness." A man's mind determines whether he succeeds or fails. It creates opportunities for both good and bad. This is a primary reason Jesus stated that the mind must be refined to accept the good news and blessings he delivered to the earth. A man's light is contained within his mind. A healthy mind is capable of making sound and beneficial decisions for one's benefit. In contrast, a corrupt or darkened mind will make corrupt and erroneous judgments. We must establish the groundwork for the belief system, just as we would for a newborn. The mind is shaped by life events and experiences. It is consequently vital to develop positive views, emotions, habits, and values that will influence our lives.
The pastor teaches so much about the mind and its potential to accommodate both good and evil. It's up to the individual whether or not to use the mind's power for good or evil. The human mind needs accurate and useful information to feed on, the pastor continued. The Bible refers to this information as lights. When the lights are evil, the life you lead will be evil. In contrast, when the lights are good, you will live a positive and fulfilling life. We can now comprehend Jesus' admonition about the type of light we have in our minds. Take heed, he said, that the light in you is not darkness. Reading Isaiah chapter 5 verse 20, it says, "Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who substitute darkness for light and light for darkness, who substitute bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. It is by true light that men can judge accurately and not confuse light for darkness nor good for evil." Tina.
Thank you, Becky. I am so touched about the passage from Isaiah that says we should not call bitter sweet nor sweet bitter. The absence of the true light is responsible for that kind of confusion in men. Proverbs chapter 23 and verse 7 state that he is what he thinks in his heart. The type of information received and accepted by humans shapes their minds. This information will accumulate over time. It is difficult to unlearn them unless you make a drastic adjustment by replacing or reprogramming them with accurate knowledge. The mind has the ability and freedom to name or label something. Whatever you label or identify will emerge in your life and surroundings. This is a process I refer to as mind refinery. As God's children, we have a responsibility to provide our children with correct, wholesome, and reliable information that, when believed, labeled, and accepted, shapes the lives of our future offspring. A man is naturally fortified by his maker. He may be unable to control events that occur outside of himself, but he can manage what and how he believes, understands, and accepts what enters him from the outside world. God miraculously rescued the children of Israel from bondage, and He required that the elder generations pass on the deliverance information to future generations. Our society today takes a wrong approach to life since their parents did not guide them in the right direction or provide them with the correct information. The mind is naturally inclined to commit evil. Thus, we must refresh and renew our minds to conform to Christ's mentality.
I personally thank God for the wisdom and knowledge God gave to our man of God. There's one thing he said: whatever you label in your mind will sooner or later manifest in your life. This is awesome truth. We're encouraged to be careful how we interpret circumstances and situations of life. Call them a positive name or label and you will get positive results. Reading Proverbs 26 and verse 12, New International Version. Do you see a person wise in their own eyes? There is more hope for a fool than for them. The human mind can learn and unlearn information, values, and beliefs that have been stored within it over time. All things are possible, but the mind must accept and refine reality before it permits it to reflect or manifest in the real world. As a child of God, your thinking must be refined enough to let God operate and walk along with you. Your mind's version must be updated with enough light. That is the knowledge of the truth to walk in and with the Spirit of God. Tina.
The mind is a link that connects the physical realm with the spiritual realms. This central position is important to God and man. The mind would only reflect whoever wins it, whether the spirit of truth or the flesh. The believer's mind must mature sufficiently to reflect the thinking of Christ. A regenerated mind is a victory for both God and man. A wise man is one who is humble and open to learning. Stop learning, and you'll stop growing. If you simply consider yourself to be wise, you will appear foolish to everyone around you. Everything that has life is designed to grow. This includes you as a human being. God made us in such a way that we shall never cease growing, particularly in our knowledge of the truth. May the good Lord help us all, Becky.
We have now come to the end of the devotional broadcast for today. We believe that you have been blessed by the teaching of the man of God. We want to thank you so much for staying till the end of the broadcast. Once more, consider subscribing to our channel if you haven't done so. To contact Pastor, use the email address displayed on the screen. It's our prayers that dedicate much time for our God. Until our next broadcast, may the Almighty God keep you and your family. The devotional was written by Pastor Davidson, read in the studio by Tina and me. Until we see you again, it's bye from us here in the Living Studio.